Hello, I'm Meghan Donnelly. Thank you for joining. Let's begin. Today's class is part of our series for depression and yoga for breakups. It is my sincere intention throughout the creation of this video that you will feel comfort and peace during today's practice. Let's start with some deep breathing, and then we'll move into alternate nostril breathing, which has a very calming effect on the nervous system and can be very helpful during times of distress. So using whichever hand is comfortable, bring the index and middle finger to the center of your hand, and you'll use your thumb and your ring finger to cover one nostril at a time. So you'll breathe in through one side, close it off, breathe out through the other side. Then you'll breathe in through that same side, close it off, and breathe out the opposite side. And keep repeating this. So don't think about it too much. Just closing the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale on the left side. And then exhale right. Inhale on that same side. Close. Exhale, opposite side. So you can go at your own pace. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right again. And then close, exhale left. So just do the best you can. You can't do this wrong or mess it up, so don't overthink it. But by controlling your breath through one nostril at a time, it calms the nervous system, calms the body, calms the mind. It gives your mind something to do. So you're distracted from any ruminations or running scenarios throughout your head, which can be overwhelming and make the grieving process more intense. So instead, we're focusing on breathing in through one nostril at a time, and that's all we have to do right now. Breathing in, close, breathing out the other side. Breathing in that same side. Close and breathe out the other side. Just do the best you can. Keep going. And then rest your hands on your knees. Go back to breathing through both nostrils. Notice any mental or physical changes you might be experiencing after doing alternate nostril breathing. Let's do neck circles now, but instead of doing a full circle, do a large incomplete circle. You can go very slowly, and just like you're drawing a big semicircle with your chin, if you had a pencil attached to your chin, just draw a big semicircle and go back the way you came. Keep breathing. You can kind of close your eyes and really get into it. A few more times. Noticing any tension you might be holding in the face, forehead, or neck. And now roll your left ear over the left shoulder and stay here. You can bring your right hand to the top of your right shoulder to guide it down towards the floor, and left hand can rest on your side right temple skin, on the right side of your head, not to force the head to the left, but rather just a gentle invitation to intensify this stretch on the right side of the neck and throat. We tend to carry a lot of mental tension in our face and jaw, which can result in stress headaches, insomnia, jaw clenching, teeth grinding, sinus issues, etc. So even though we're going through a painful time emotionally, we don't want these emotions to be stuck in the body. So keep breathing, keep exhaling. And then use your left hand under the left ear and gently bring your head back to center. Do a few neck semicircles again, just to kind of cleanse the palate before we go over and do the same neck stretch on the second side. So second side, roll the right ear over the right shoulder. Just like before, you can bring the right hand to the left temple skin to invite a little more stretch on the left side of the neck. Left hand rests lightly on the left top shoulder to invite a more prominent stretch here. Use your right hand under the right ear and push your head back up to center. Then change the cross of your legs, shake them out a little bit if you need to, and clasp the hands behind your head. Open up the elbows, open up the chest, really getting that energy and blood flow moving in the heart center. And let's do a little side to side bending action here. Just move in any way that feels good and relaxing, therapeutic and safe. Bending side to side. Opening up the chest, relaxing the face. Throat is relaxed. And bring your right hand to the floor and open up with the left elbow and the left armpit area. Come back to center, hands behind the head, and side bend to the left hand to the floor. Lift up with your right elbow, like you're opening up with your right wing here. And back to center, open up with the elbows. Right hand down, left elbow opens up. And now we will open up towards the sky and twist down towards the earth. So as if you're leading with the elbow, leading with your wing, open up towards the sky and curl in and rotate towards the earth. Inhale, open. Exhale, rotate down. Shine your light up. Shine your light down. Keep breathing. Face is relaxed. No clenching of the teeth. Keep going. And open up, reach the left arm up, stretch out. Make some arm circles with the left arm. Try both directions. And then stretch through the fingertips as much as you can and come up to center. Hands behind the head, elbows wide. Second side, slide bend to the left, right elbow up. And now we'll do the same open and twist, close flow that we did on the first side. This should feel good, so just open your wingspan up towards the sky and rotate and gently twist towards the earth. Open up the heart. Exhale, turning inward. Keep breathing. Keep flowing. Turning your light up and turning your light down. Keep breathing. Open up that light around your heart. Shine it up. Shine it down. And now stretch the right arm up and back and make a few circles with your right arm. Try going in both directions. And then stretch your fingertips way out and come back to center. Both hands behind the head. Open up and release. Let's now change the position of our knees. And if you have 2 blankets with you, you can fold them in long rectangles and place them underneath your rib cage so that your ribs are hanging off of the blankets. So you're making kind of a bolster here, a little shelf. And by allowing the hips to hang away from the supported rib cage, it creates some space in between the vertebrae and creates space in the low back. This is Sphinx pose. Now on your forearms, spread your fingers a lot, stretch your toes to the back of the mat. Almost as if you're dragging the body forward, like your hips are stuck to the mat and you're dragging your torso forward and lifting up with your forearms and hands. Keep breathing. And then take a rest. Rest your forehead on top of your hands. And just breathe here. Come back into Sphinx pose. And pull and drag. Pull and drag. Keep stretching your toes behind you. Keep turning your kneecaps towards the mat. Make sure there's no pinching in your low back. Keep the glutes relaxed. And once again, rest your forehead on your stacked hands. Allow that point of support under your forehead to be relaxing. So now we'll grab our yoga strap if you have one handy. And you can reach back. Put the yoga strap over your left foot or ankle, and then reach back with your left hand to grab the foot. Keep breathing, getting a nice stretch here on the left quadricep. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. You may not need the yoga strap, and you may choose to not bend the left knee, and that's okay. You can just work on the shoulder opening aspect. Do what you can, and props are your friends. Let's switch sides now. Release. And now bend your right knee, loop the yoga strap over the right foot, and then reach up and back with the right hand to grab the foot or the yoga strap and get that same stretch in the right quad, right hip, and the right shoulder. Keep breathing as you open up the right side of the chest. And release out of that. Rest on your stomach again, forehead resting on your stacked palms. Bend your knees and let your feet fall side to side like windshield wipers. That should be relaxing on the back. And then bring your hands to the floor. Slowly press the torso up any amount, even just a small amount here to facilitate some back bending. Come back down, bend the elbows. Let's do it again. Gently press into the floor with your hands next to the chest. Lift your chest any amount. Keep stretching your toes behind you for this baby cobra, and then stretch and roll yourself back down. If you have your yoga strap and you can't clasp the hands behind the back, then use your strap to connect your hands behind the back. Pressing your legs into the floor, lift the torso off the floor any amount just to open the heart here for a little supported locust. Again, hands are grabbing the yoga strap behind the back, and you're pressing your legs and pelvis into the earth using your core and lifting up. Release, and we'll do it again in just a moment. Rest with your forehead or your ear on the mat. Let's do a second round. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the heart, press your legs into the earth, engage the core, keep breathing, relax the buttocks. Lengthen the back, open the chest, and release. Rest your left ear on the mat now. And then let go of your yoga strap. Have it handy. And come back to Sphinx pose on your forearms. Spread your fingers a lot. And now bend your left knee, and we'll use the yoga strap again around the left foot. This is a continuation of the shoulder opening we did earlier. So you can bend your left elbow a lot, as much as you need to. You can also just grab the foot directly like I'm showing here. Otherwise, the yoga strap is your friend to make your arm longer. And this will feel really good opening up the front of the left hip, especially if you've been doing a lot of sitting or traveling, or your back is hurting. This is a counter pose to sitting. Relax on your stomach for a moment in between sides. Rest your ear on the mat. Let's do the same thing. Other side, come up on your forearms again for Sphinx pose. Bend the right knee and loop the yoga strap over the right foot this time. Right hip bone, where your pocket would be if you had jeans on. Press that front right pocket into the floor a lot. And that will feel really good and opening in the front of the hip and the quad, as well as the right front shoulder. If you drive a lot, this is likely to be a tight area that affects the back. And release. Grab hold of your yoga blanket again, fold it in a square like a pillow, and bring your left ear on the pillow. We're going to roll over onto our left side with the left ear on the pillow, with our left arm stretched out underneath us. Spread the fingers on the left hand. This is a left inner shoulder opener. So you're rolling onto the left side of the body, opening up the inner part of the left shoulder. Your neck is supported, so your cervical spine is in line. You can bring your right foot to the floor for support in the front or the back of your outstretched left leg. Breathe. Make sure you're not feeling any pinching in the shoulder. Make any adjustments. But this can be a really nice way to open up the front of the chest in this upper body twist. Slowly come out of this side. And let's do the other side. Bring your right ear to your pillow. Stretch your right arm underneath you to the right side. Roll onto your right side body. Bend your knees. And with your top bent left knee, the foot can go in front of the right leg or behind the right leg. It helps to have both knees slightly bent, or you can straighten your bottom right leg along the floor. Keep breathing. You're really feeling it in the front of the right shoulder, all the way down the arm. If you're feeling any pinching, then please adjust the pose. Keep breathing just a little longer on this side. And bring your left hand to the floor for support. Roll out of this. And then rest on your stomach. Stretch your legs behind you. Rest your forehead on your stacked hands. And just enjoy being supported by the earth here. And then hands next to your chest. Slowly press yourself back up. And you can grab your yoga blanket now and open it up in a square and bring your knees on the blanket for support. We'll come into tabletop pose on hands and knees and move into cat and cow pose. It's a gentle arch and a gentle rounding of the spine. Keep breathing. Spread the fingers a lot. Gently arching and rounding, arching and rounding. Inhale as you look up and exhale as you round. Keep breathing as we continue to wake up the spine. And now bring your left arm up and thread it under the right arm. We're prepping for thread the needle, but just as if you had a big left elephant trunk here on your left arm, you'll sweep your trunk up and down a few times, threading the needle, but then coming back up into an opening twist. And then after 3 or 4 times, you'll stay threaded under with that left arm and roll over onto the outer part of your left shoulder. You can wrap your right arm behind the back or keep your right hand on the floor for support. Try to keep both of your hips over the knees. This is a twist in the upper body, so try to keep the lower body squared with the hips over the knees. So this is thread the needle pose. Your neck should be long but supported. Being mindful to not make any quick neck movements as your neck is kind of in a vulnerable place here, but it's very safe if you breathe and just hold the pose gently and come out of it slowly when we're ready, and I'll talk you through it. Now bring your right hand down and use your hand for support to slowly release your neck and slowly use your arms to push yourself up out of this pose. Left arm stretches up and back to all fours. Let's do the same thing other side. Right arm reaches up like an elephant trunk and you sweep it under that left arm a few times. So preparing for thread the needle on the second side. The right arm sweeps up, opening to the right, and the right arm threads under the body, outstretching to the left. And after that, we'll roll on to the outer right shoulder and hold thread the needle on the right side. The hips are over the knees, the neck is long, and we're enjoying a nice upper body twist here. Keep breathing. In through the nose, out through the nose. Steady, even breathing. A little bit longer. All right, use your left hand to press into the mat to help unthread the needle. Carefully drag that right arm out and stretch it up as you unwind out of this, returning to tabletop position now. Breathe here on all fours. Just enjoy the simplicity of this. And stretch your left leg back behind you and then cross it over to the right side of your mat. Tuck your left toes under. Look over your right shoulder at your left foot. This should feel really good, like a full side body stretch. Keep breathing, keep pressing through that left heel. Keep pressing the left side body to the left as you look right. Breathe. Come back to center. Let's do a few cat and cows again. Before we do the other side, right leg lifts up now. Right leg crosses behind the body to the left side of the mat. Press through the right heel. Side bend right as you look over the left shoulder at your right foot. Breathe. Let these simple movements be grounding. If you feel like your life's been kind of turned upside down lately, this is a wonderful way to stay grounded, just with simple, easy poses and movements. Slowly come back to all fours, and then we're going to sit down. So you can move your blanket off to the side and bring your hands behind you while you're seated with your knees bent, feet on the floor. Turn your fingertips in towards your hips. This is to open up the wrists, forearms, and hands. Loop your shoulders down the back like you're moving a backpack down your back, and open the chest. Breathe deeply as you open your heart, especially if your heart has felt closed off or broken. Allow some light to shine in. Allow some heaviness to dissipate here. Keep breathing. Maybe even a gentle smile on the lips, even if it feels fake, might help. Let's do windshield wipers. Knees move side to side. Your face is relaxed. And this is a nice hip opening twist while you're opening the chest. So move slowly, and you might find you need to wiggle your hips back closer to the hands once you travel out towards the feet a little more. You might need to recalibrate. That's okay. And then move your hips back towards your hands and straighten the legs. Now stretch your arms behind you with your fingertips facing away from you. This is different. The fingertips face away from you. Big shoulder opener here. Arms are straight, but elbows are not locked out. So we call this the rack, like you're being pulled apart. But in a gentle way, you have full control over this opening as you reach the feet away from the torso. And little by little, wiggle the fingertips behind you as your body allows. Breathe deeply, creating as much space between the upper and lower body as possible so that you're not feeling scrunched up and compressed. Allow your light to shine here. It's still in there somewhere. And now walk the hands slowly up toward your hips. Shake your shoulders out a little bit and grab your 2 yoga blocks. You can bring them behind you to help lift the earth towards you with your fingertips curling over the edges so the blocks are at their lowest height here. This is to help bring the floor to you. You may not need the blocks, but we'll do a hip opener here with the right ankle crossing above the left knee. Flex your right toes a lot. Spread the toes. Big right hip opener here. Keep breathing. Sit up as tall as you can. You can use the blocks to help you lift up. So hip openers often open up some stored emotions in our hip region. So they can be kind of confrontational sometimes, especially if there's stuff we don't want to think about or feel. But just allow whatever to happen needs to happen in this hip opener. Allow it to happen. Even if little bits of anger or frustration bubble up. Try to exhale through those waves as those emotions bubble up. And now we'll come into fire log pose or shoelaces pose with your right ankle now over the left inner thigh. Both feet are flexed and your shins are stacked. You may be able to lengthen and then walk your fingertips out in front of you a bit more. And this will intensify the hip opening you've got going on. Keep breathing. You may or may not be able to fold here, and that's okay. And it's okay if the shins do not stack and if your top knee is way high up in the air. That's okay. All of our bodies are different. Just breathe. And slowly lift up out of this. Stretch your arms up in the air. And now we'll twist to the right side. Bring your left hand to the right knee and your right hand behind you. Breathe. 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 Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head as you twist. Exhale, twist a little deeper from the low back and the low spine. Twists are known to help elevate our mood. So even though when we're depressed, we don't feel like doing our yoga practice, it's often the best time to do it. Slowly unwind out of your twist and release your legs, and we'll go into the other side for this hip opener. You can use your blocks again with the heels of your palms on the blocks with the fingers curled over the edge. Fingertips point down, bend your elbows, open the chest, flex your left toes back toward the shin to protect the left knee, and focus the opening on the left hip. Keep breathing. One side might be tighter than the other, and that's okay. One side may feel peaceful and the other side feel not so peaceful. Just honor that experience, whatever it may be. And then we'll come into that shoelaces pose or fire log pose with our shins stacked. So the left shin is stacked, or just do whatever you can. You can put a block underneath your left knee. If your hips are really tight here, it might not look like my pose, and that's okay. It's more about the experience you're having in the body. By flexing your top left foot, you are protecting the left knee and focusing on that left hip. You can hinge forward here like I'm doing, or stay sitting upright. Feel free to use those blocks under the left knee or under your forearms. And then use your hands to help lift you up. And we'll prepare for the twist on the second side. So reach both arms all the way up and slowly twist to the left a little at a time. Left hand behind you and right hand to the left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Keep breathing. We're elevating our mood here. We're bringing oxygen throughout all of the systems of the body. We're calming the nervous system through our deep breathing. Just one breath at a time. Another breath. And slowly exhale and unwind. And straighten both legs out in front of you. Shake out your legs a little bit. And now bring your right foot to the inner left thigh for head to knee pose. You could use your yoga strap here if you want to. You can place the yoga strap over your left foot, reach both arms up, rotate to face the left leg, exhale, fold. So we're bringing our forehead towards the shin, but it doesn't have to touch the shin or be anywhere near it, really. The idea is to focus on the low left side of the back and, of course, the back of the left leg. With or without the yoga strap, you can reach your hands in the direction of the foot. Keep breathing here. Slowly bring the torso up, and you can keep the yoga strap handy. Straighten both of your legs. And now bend your left knee instead. Bring your left foot to the inner right thigh. Yoga strap over the right foot. Inhale, lengthen. Rotate to face your right leg. And exhale, folding over the right leg. Bringing your hands to the yoga strap or towards the foot. So you should be feeling the hip opening on the left side, a low back opening on the right side and the back of the right leg. And as you fold inward, just allow some space. Just honoring the heart right now, even if it feels broken. As if you're giving your inner child a hug. These forward folding poses have that comforting effect. And then slowly bring your torso up. Keep your yoga strap handy. Grab your yoga blanket again. And you can fold your yoga blanket in a long rectangular shape so that you can sit on it in a seated straddle pose. So your hips are slightly elevated on the blanket. You've got your toes pointing upwards, your kneecaps pointing upwards. And you can bring the block in front of you for your forehead and reach both arms all the way up. And then exhale, slowly hinge forward with the torso. Keep the knees pointing up, keep the toes pointing up, and you can bring the block to any height underneath your forehead or just rest on your forearms. This is another opportunity to go within, just to nurture the broken heart, holding a safe space for yourself. And I'm here also holding a safe space for you during this difficult time. Keep breathing. All you have to do is breathe right now. You don't have to do anything else. Nothing has to be solved. Nothing has to be fixed. Nothing has to be resolved. Just be. And then use your hands to lift the torso up. Grab that yoga strap again and place it around the left foot. And then stretch the yoga strap up, making a loop around the foot. Stretch the yoga strap up with your right hand. And then you can slide your left hand down towards the foot where the yoga strap is hooked on your left foot. And reach your right arm far away. So you're basically just pulling the yoga strap that's hooked on your left foot. You're using your right arm to pull it. And it's giving you a really nice shoulder opening here as you side bend over the left leg. Keep breathing. This is wonderful for opening up the heart center, creating space around the throat chakra and the heart chakra. Our communication and love center. So now bring your yoga strap around the right foot. Same thing, yoga strap up in the left hand. And stretch that left arm all the way up, opening up the heart. Keep breathing. Right hand can reach towards the right foot a little at a time. Just a little longer. Keep opening up with that left arm. The left side is where our heart is, so give it a little extra space. And then you can drop the yoga strap with the left hand and use your hands to lift you back up to center. And now we'll change our leg positioning. Come into a kneeling position and grab your yoga blanket and put a blanket on both sides of your mat, and this will prepare you for frog pose, for an inner groin stretch. So this might not be appropriate for everyone's knees. I'll give you an option in just a moment. But if you'd like to do this frog pose coming onto the inner portion of the knee, not the kneecap, and this can be pretty intense, the hip opening here. So as you prop yourself up on your forearms, you can let your knees slide out at any pace, very slow pace, but you'll be able to tell how far you can go. Flex both of your feet and point the toes out to the side for frog pose. And this is an intense hip opener. So let's breathe very deeply. Try breathing in through your nose for a count of 4. And try breathing out even longer for a count of 8. Try breathing in for 4. Try breathing out for 8. Keep breathing deeply. You might find you can go a little deeper into the pose, or you're fine right where you are. If you are not not able to do this on your knees, you can always do reclined cobbler's pose, lying on your back with your knees falling out to the sides and your feet together. You can also do this seated. I know this hip opener can be pretty intense, especially during a challenging time, but just allow yourself to have that experience. And use your hands to slowly push yourself up, and be very careful when you come out of this. Come out slowly so that you don't shock your inner thighs in any way. And then use your blankets now, your one blanket, underneath the shoulders. Your head will be off the blanket, but your upper shoulders will be on the blanket. Bend your knees, feet on the floor, hands next to your sides. Prepare for bridge pose. Press your feet into the floor and lift the hips. Extend the knuckles towards the feet and lean more onto the upper shoulders. Keep the neck long. The neck is not compressed. The chest is open. Keep breathing. Keep looking upwards. I'll talk you through it. Keep breathing in bridge pose. You can keep pressing your knuckles into the floor, or press your hands into the floor. And slowly, hips come down. Release the arms. Relax and come out of bridge pose. Rest on your back. And we'll prepare to do it again. So second round of bridge pose, same thing, second side, press into your feet, lift your hips up, clasp your hands underneath the body, walk your shoulder blades towards one another underneath the body, chest is opening here. Your shoulders are on the blanket, your head is off the blanket. This makes bridge pose a little softer, a little more gentle. And release your arms and slowly drop your hips down towards the floor. Relax. Now grab the yoga block and place it on its lowest height underneath your sacrum, under your hips. So basically your hips are elevated on a block, and you're going to extend your legs in the air for waterfall pose, or legs up the invisible wall pose. This is very therapeutic pose. So the legs are at a 90-degree angle to the body, and your feet are relaxed. And you can stay here, or if you'd like to come into shoulder stand, you can watch the video first before you go up in shoulder stand. Or if you know shoulder stand, just look up. You don't want to turn your head in shoulder stand, so keep looking up. And then rolling onto your upper shoulders, which are on the blanket, and your head's still off the blanket. This is supported shoulder stand, hands to the low back or hips. So you're basically walking your hands up the back towards the neck as your elbows go closer towards one another. Then your feet go higher and higher up, and eventually the hips and the feet will align over the shoulders. But that doesn't have to happen anytime soon. It just depends on how open we're feeling. But any variation of having your legs elevated will be beneficial to your mood and to the body. And now bend your knees and bring the knees in towards the forehead. This is candlestick pose or baby plow pose. So the knees are very close in towards the forehead. And then you're going to slowly roll out of this. Hips come back onto the block. And relax. Press your feet into the floor. Lift your hips. Remove the block. And set your hips back down on the floor. And now we're going to come into a new position with the blankets underneath our knees. So grab both of your blankets and stack them up in long rectangles, and we'll take the blocks underneath our shoulders and our spine in a T position. So you can bring the block on its medium height in a vertical position under your spinal cord, and your second block in a horizontal position like a T, and that'll go under your head. And then you've got two blankets here that you've folded up in a rectangle and then again into a pillow square. So basically, you just have folded pillow blankets underneath your knees to give you some height for reclined cobbler pose legs. And then you can eventually relax back laying on the blocks. So the vertical block will go in between the shoulder blades, vertically up the spine. And then your head will relax on the second block. The knees will be supported by your folded blankets. And you have a nice passive hip opening here. You can rest your hands on your belly, like I'm demonstrating here, or let the arms rest by your sides. Breathe. Allow yourself to be supported by your props. Let this be a metaphor in your life and allow yourself to be supported by your support system, whether that be a friend, a pet, a community, or the security of your home or your room or your bed or your yoga mat. Allow yourself to be supported. You are supported. Very carefully roll off of your blocks. Take your time, move slowly, and roll over onto your side. Stay on your side for a few moments. And then move your props to the side and we'll lie down on our mats in Shavasana corpse pose. This is our final relaxation pose with your feet falling out to the sides, with your palms facing up. So as we start in Shavasana, if your mind is still very active, you can focus on your breathing in that 4-8 count ratio we did earlier, breathing in for 4, breathing out through 8. You could also repeat a trusted phrase or mantra, such as, "Everything is working out for me," "All is well," or "I am safe," or any phrase or prayer or mantra or word that resonates with you and brings you calm. You can repeat it to yourself as you lie here on your mat, connecting each breath. Just be. I'll lead you out of the Shavasana in a few minutes. Slowly begin to bring movement back into your body, moving your wrists and ankles. Slowly roll over onto your side and just rest on your side for a few moments. Breathe. Use your hands to help lift you up and come into a seated position and take a deep breath in and out. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.